Trigger warning, you are now watching Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Koco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. It's right, boom, boom, here, shaking the room, live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, joining there way across the pond, over there in Kawasaki, Japan, none other than the Human Flash, Dave Koco. What's up, buddy?
Hey, nothing much, nothing much. Tampa Bay Lightning, baby. The Tampa Bay Lightning got a little playoff beard going on. It feels so good, boobs. Let's go, Lightning. Happy Friday the 13th. So hopefully Jason doesn't kill you because that's how it works, right?
Yes, it's how it works.
We have a lot to talk about, but you know what? I like my playoff beard. It's not too bad. Game one, playoff beard.
I can't really tell. That's every day. You've got a playoff beard every day.
Well, it's because I love and believe in the Tampa Bay Lightning. Go Bolts. Who's your favorite hockey team? Put it down in a doobly-doo. Booms. Let's start the show.
Yeah, man, it's time for – man, we got a WrestleMania weekend hangover. This is pretty much the only way I could describe this show here is, you know, there was a lot of shows, and unfortunately, we just cannot get to them all. I mean, there were just tons and tons and tons of shows in New Orleans over the weekend. The one we decided to check out, particularly Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor. Particularly, we saw a match between Kenny Omega versus Cody, in parentheses, Rhodes, because we're not supposed to say that one, you know, out loud because of copyright infringement lawyers.
My favorite part, Cody Rhodes is a genius. My favorite part is like, it's Cody and his wife, Brandy Rhodes. I think it's the best way to get around that. It's so genius. And for the record, I only saw the Cody Rhodes match. So, Booms, you're gonna have to drive the bus a lot. I can break it down. I watched the Being the Elite episode 100. So,
oh yeah, I love it.
I can talk about that one match, but the rest you're gonna have to drive the bus.
Well, I mean, I decided since I had a little extra time, I was just gonna, you know, sit down and watch Supercard of Honor, and I watched some other stuff too, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But now, overall, Supercard of Honor, this came from the University of New Orleans, UNO, at one of their arenas there. I think they were touting the largest crowd had ever watched a Ring of Honor show, roughly 6,000 people watching that show. And as far as it goes, win, loss, or tie, overall, I'm going to give it a tie. It started out, I mean, there were some clunky parts, and then it got really good, and then just like the quality level dropped off at the very, very end. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't unwatchable. It's just that it got long. With everything in there, it was like 4.5 hours. To kind of put that in perspective, Mania was with WWE was like 5 hours long. Like a New Japan show, like outside of Wrestle Kingdom usually goes about 5, but a New Japan show will go about 4 to kind of give you, just to kind of put all that in perspective here. So they had a show that went, you know, for their coverage went about 4.5 hours. And interested, you know, and just for some disclosure here, excuse me, I did not watch the pre-show stuff that was on Facebook, and that was the Women of Honor Championship Tournament semifinals. So I did not watch that, but we'll go into the show here. I'm going to just kind of get in here real quick. So they start off the show. First match we have is Jonathan Gresham versus Chucky T. I think it was a good opener. Good to see Chucky T getting some exposure in the United States now. The guy's been wrestling for over a decade now, and I can't believe he's just now starting to get some national recognition. Gresham is not somebody I'm particularly familiar with, but he looked absolutely amazing in that ring. So it was a decent opening match. I think it's what it should have been. So entertaining. I'm going to try to zip through this because I know Koco didn't watch everything, and I'm going to try to talk to everybody about the match here. Next, we had Punishment Martinez versus Tomohiro Ishii from New Japan. I did not like this match for the pure and simple fact that this was just Ishii phoning it in.
That's sad because usually is a guy that phones it in.
Yeah, I mean, Ishii is not somebody I expect to phone it in because I mean, it was just, I understand it's Ring of Honor show, but this is like, you know, this could have been a hoss battle because Martinez is damn near 7 feet fucking tall. He's just fucking freaky how tall this guy is and just how athletic he is. And I thought, okay, here we go. We're going to have a hoss battle. You saw Punishment Martinez just mainly dominating, I would say a good 75% of the match. I think Ishii got enough in there to not make him look like a complete total fucking pogue. And apparently he won the Rev Pro Championship because
okay.
he came with the RPW British Championship. So apparently that happened over the weekend. Punishment Martinez won via like his South of Heaven choke slam. So I just was disappointed in this one, not necessarily because the match was bad. It's just because I've seen Tomohiro Ishii wrestle, and I know this guy could go. He's the kind of guy where if New Japan had like a U.S. branch, started like a TV show, I would probably make him my champion.
I'm just shocked I've never seen Ishii mail it in. So
yeah, he was just there going through the motions. Next, we had Kota Ibushi versus Adam Page.
That is the match I wish I saw. Ibushi, Golden Lover.
This was actually a really, really good match. I thought Adam Page's match against Switchblade Jay White was his best match. Nope, not anymore. This is the best match I have seen Adam Page in to date. He's getting better and getting better. I stand by what I said. He's not quite there yet, but he had a great opponent who worked with him. They worked well together. Adam Page looked like a fucking $1 million. That buckshot clothesline that he does looked great. I mean, it just came off like they belonged in the same ring together. I guess maybe that's some credit to Kota Ibushi. But this was a fun match. There was a lot of stuff where I thought Page was actually going to get the win, but Ibushi hit like the straight jacket German suplex and then held onto the wrist and hit him with his knee strike. Got the pin, got the win. Absolutely phenomenal match. Didn't go too long, wasn't too short.
Just under 15 minutes according to Wikipedia. So it sounds interesting. I got a question for Facebook here, Booms.
Yeah.
Do you think Ibushi, I guess free agent, not non-WWE guy, non-lockdown guy, is the best free agent in pro wrestling right now?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. I don't know anybody else who's a free agent who can not only wrestle at the level that he does, but, I mean, just get so much attention and have such a dedicated fan base as this guy does.
Yeah, so I'm actually a huge fan of him. All right, next.
Next, we had the Women of Honor Championship Tournament. These were the finals. These are the two women who had won in the semifinals in the pre-show to advance. It was Kelly Klein versus Sumi Sakai. I did not like this match. It was clunky. It felt kind of disjointed. It just kind of fell apart at the end. It was just, there was some, I mean, a little bit of botches there, and nothing too serious, but the whole story was you had Kelly Klein, who was undefeated. She was undefeated going into this. She was called the gatekeeper. And then you had Sumi Sakai. She, left everything. She moved to the United States in 2002. This is where she's been ever since. And even Colt Cabana and even Riccaboni on commentary were talking about, maybe Ring of Honor is kind of righting some wrongs here because they've gone so long with having women. But it was all like a pre-show thing. It was all an internet thing. And plus they never had a championship to fight for. Now they're putting them on TV. Now they're, they've actually got a pretty decent roster. And, now they have a championship to fight for. And it was just, and the ending just felt fucking awkward because Sumi Sakai laid out Klein that hit like this bad moonsault. I think she about completely overshot her, missed her. Then hit like this version of the DDT and gets the win. And it just looked awkward because I don't know if that was supposed to be the end of the match. I don't know if legitimately Kelly Klein was knocked silly and didn't kick out when she was supposed to, or if that was not the planned finish. It's like it was supposed to be like, a couple more sequences down the road, but it ended right there, and it just felt like awkward. And of course, all the women there were around the ring watching the match. There was Daphne, who, by the way, does not look anything like you remember. It looks like she ate Daphne.
Daphne hated our radio show with a passion, right?
Yeah. You told me you cussed her out, made her cry.
No, I don't remember it going down like that, but I know she hates our radio show. So now I'm like, maybe she forgot our radio show because now we're just on YouTube. And then Boom's like, nope, we're still the assholes you hate. I met Sumi Sakai a bunch in the States. She's wrestled a bunch in the Florida Indies. She deserves it. But here's the thing. I think she deserves it. I think she's the Christopher Daniels of women's wrestling for Ring of Honor. The thing is, Kelly Klein was undefeated. There's a storyline there. Sumi Sakai is a legend, but maybe she shouldn't have won it opening night. You know what I mean? It would be like Christopher Daniels at his age now winning it the first night at Ring of Honor. You know what I mean? The first Ring of Honor tournament. Maybe they should have gave it booking wise to Kelly Klein, and then Sakai could have won it later. But they're just trying to give her some respect because she's a hardworking girl that doesn't get the credit she deserves. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, and so it just kind of fell apart. Next, we had a 6-man tag team ladder match for the 6-man tag team championships. You had let's pretend I could talk this time. SoCal Uncensored. That's Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, and Scorpio Sky taking on the tandem of Flip Gordon and the Young Bucks. In my opinion, this was the match of the night. This was absolutely fucking insane. They just went ladder to ladder to ladder. They busted out tables, swantons, you name it. They pulled it out. It kind of got shit on just a little bit because you had the Kingdom come out, and I understand why they did it because the Kingdom didn't really lose the championships. They want their fucking championships back, and plus it opened it up for more spots. I mean, there were spots where members of the Kingdom got put through tables. There was a part where like they were going to try to climb the ladder and even though they're not in the match, they're going to try to win the championships. I'm not really going to spoil too much because I really want you to watch this match. It was absolutely insane. They kept going. Eventually, Daniels went to the mat. Let's see, Matt went flying off through a table. Daniels was the only one left in the ring, so he climbed the ladder, pulls down the championship belt. So the SoCal Uncensored wins. However, SoCal Uncensored attacked everybody, and then they stole the championships and ran off. This was just an absolutely amazing. It's an absolutely amazing match. I would recommend checking it out. I didn't know how well the Young Bucks and Flip Gordon will work together, but something I actually found out here. Flip Gordon, I don't know if you know this or not, Coco. Flip Gordon's just been wrestling for just a little over 2 years now. Like
that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
The fact that he's wrestling at this fucking level right now, for one, I would not be surprised if he goes all in, if you know what I mean, by the before the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's almost a guarantee to be there. So yeah, we got dude. Know what I miss? We got our buddy Islam Abdullah. La, 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 la. Every time he comments, he always leaves the dumbest ass comments. He's like, I can't believe Dirt and Water have created a podcast. Yikes! And then whatever I'm kind of sad because he's a bad troll. He only downvotes the shows he listens to. I mean, if you want to be a good troll, you got to downvote all of them. Yeah, now here's the question, Booms. Do you think it's ex-girlfriend, ex-boss, or just another YouTuber? What do you think? Because it's so cute. I mean, it's adorable. Like, I never understood him. I want to meet him one day. He's so cute.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it. Dirt and Water have created a podcast. I honestly don't get that insult. Are you saying we're podcast?
I don't know. It's just so funny. But yeah, because then our internet infantry later will be like, why is everyone doing it? So Anna says hi. I just find it funny because why not just do it to all of them? I don't know. He cracks me up. I've never trolled anyone on the internet. I've never bothered hating. If I don't know. I honestly don't understand the mentality. But hey, little buddy, good luck. Love you, brother.
Good luck, man. Next year was the tag team championship match. You had the Briscoes defending against Jay Lethal and Hiroshi Tanahashi. There was never any doubt that the Briscoes were going to retain. However, I will say that Lethal and Tanahashi made it interesting, and they even had one spot where even the referee counted 2, but everybody was chanting, "No, that was 3. That was 3. Fuck the referee." There was they made it interesting. They made it entertaining. The Briscoes won with the Doomsday Device on Jay Lethal, so that was actually a really fun match.
Yeah, I want to see a lot of these matches. I apologize for only seeing one match, but Boom Boom saw it all, so we'll just hit the review. How did Tanahashi look?
Tanahashi looked great. He looked great as always. I mean, he just wasn't like the also ran. I mean, he had some good stuff in there. I like when I think it was Mark was trying to do the redneck kung fu, and he grabbed the leg, did the dragon screw on there. That was
Yeah.
one of my favorite spots in there. So no, he looked great, and plus he didn't eat the pin.
Nice. All right, go on.
Austin Aries popped up with all his championships, saying that he now wants to take aim at the Ring of Honor Television Championship title because he's not won that championship.
Oh, okay. I'm glad they had that second part because I was like, why wouldn't he just go for the world title? But the fact that he's never won the title makes sense. Go on.
Yeah, and plus he's got like a shit ton of other belts.
I like that. That was really popular in Japan, Ultimo Dragon and other wrestlers. I'm a big fan of that. That's actually a Japan storyline where it just has one wrestler and they have all the belts and shit. So I'm glad it's coming to America. I'm not the biggest Austin Aries fan, but I like this story.
Well, he joined commentary, and then we had the television we had a TV title match. It was Kenny King versus Silas Young in a last man standing. Yeah, these two went at it. They started tearing each other apart. They went back and forth. They took it to the outside. There was even some interference by the Beer City Bruiser. But then they kind of shit on the end. And I understand maybe why they did it, but I still don't think it was a good idea. My personal favorite was King hitting a shooting star press on Young through a table. But when he went down, he couldn't get up, and Silas Young was getting up, and you could see King he wants to get up, but he can't. And then as soon as the bell rings, he finally manages to free himself on the floor. And it turns out while he was his feet were under the ring apron, and they were zip tied together. And the Beer City Bruiser was up under there. He had zip tied his legs together. So Silas Young wins the Ring of Honor Television Championship. And it was okay, but I feel like the ending was just lazy. I understand you're trying to give your baby face an out. You're trying to get some heat on the heel, but I just felt like that was just kind of a shitty ending. It was in my opinion, it was lazy. And this was a double beatdown. Then Austin Aries comes in, and of course the bad guys run off. So I don't know what Ring of Honor was going for. I don't know if they didn't want to have Kenny King versus Austin Aries because they didn't want two good guys to go at it, or they definitely wanted Aries. They didn't want the crowd to be divided. They wanted them to solidly get behind Aries for the upcoming title match. I just don't understand. I don't understand why they did it.
Well, and granted, I only seen the next match, but to me, booking wise, is Kenny King kind of fucked? Because Kenny King is completely over. He deserves to be ROH champ, but Dalton Castle's at a whole nother fucking level. So I thought the TV title on Kenny King made sense because it's like, oh, well, he's not as over as Dalton Castle, but he deserves fucking something. Now that the TV title is gone, where do you think Kenny King goes from here?
I mean, he's going to go back after the championship. I think it's ultimately going to lead to like a tag team match. It's going to be Aries and King versus Beer City Bruiser and Silas Young. And then you can throw in their other guy, Brian Milana's in there if you want to get some more heat on him for the unfair advantage. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is maybe that you don't want the crowd to be split between King and Aries. You definitely want them to be, the audience to be on their side, and I guess maybe this is their way of doing that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing something else. I apologize. Unprofessional.
Yes, really professional. Let's see. Next, this was going to be an impromptu match here. It was Cheeseburger and Isaac Isom, or God, I cannot remember the guy's name right now. It was Isom. I do remember that. It was Cheeseburger and Isom. He was like a Future of Honor kind of guy. He was like a new guy, and they were going to take on the Dogs. That's Rhett Titus and Matt Ferrara. They get started, and the Dogs just absolutely just jump Isom. They smash his leg in between a chair and the ring post. Isom's not able to continue. Bully Ray comes down, stops everything, and says, no, we're not going to do this. You're gonna have a match here, but your partner's unable to fight. You're going to have a partner or it's over. And Cheeseburger then just says, I want you, Bully, as my partner. He's like, please, please, please. This is the biggest show of the year. This is the biggest show of the year. I need this. Please, please be my partner. And a lot of provoking. And finally, Bully agrees. They go wild. They start beating up on the dogs. They even do the was up. And then out of nowhere, Bully Ray chokeslams Cheeseburger and then gets on the microphone, goes, who the hell do you think you are telling me what to do? It's people like you that's wrong with wrestling. So he calls out, people that's like Will Ospreay, Flip Gordon, and Ricochet. You're the reason why wrestling sucks now. You're the reason why people don't take this seriously. And then Joe Koff comes out there and he's trying to get Bully out of the ring. And then he says, and it's your fault, Joe, for hiring people like Cheeseburger. And then Flip Gordon finally goes down there and Bully's holding Cheeseburger hostage, saying, you know what, if you come in here, you make another move, I'll pile drive you. And you know just as well as I do, if I do this, the Louisiana State Athletic Commission will shut this show down and you don't get your main events. And he goes, because you know who I am? And he pulls out his Hall of Fame ring, goes, I am Bully Ray. I'm a WWE Hall of Famer. And just, everybody has to back off. And then he power bombs Cheeseburger and leaves. I kind of like, okay, the Ring of Honor fans, they hated it. They really hated this because they felt like it took up too much time. It wasted too much time. It kind of flies in the face of what they were building, like, Bully Ray's farewell tour. They wanted him to go out as a babyface, and then, this happens. But I actually kind of liked it. I liked it because I actually honestly feel like a lot of old veterans feel this way. And I feel like there is the criticism.
Yeah, but the thing is, why didn't the fans just start chanting Spike Dudley? The whole thing falls apart. I don't know. I just think Vader doing this storyline makes sense. I think old people make it. But the thing is, like, the storyline's been done so much that it kind of like doesn't have value. Because back in the day, you'd get heat. Like, hey, Mysterio was fucking awesome. But now you're just like, oh, whatever, dude. What happened to Spike Dudley? What the fuck?
But these are legit criticisms that, a lot of the veterans, and even Colt Cabana even brought it up. It's like, oh, just another angry, bitter veteran. Oh, you don't know how to work. You don't know how. You see, I knew how to do it back when wrestling was good. You're ruining the business, making fun of that. And, and I feel like that's still a valid topic. I mean, I understand it's old, Dave, and I agree with you that it's an old gripe, but it's still a valid topic.
I don't think so. Because the thing is, I think it's the dumbest topic ever, and I think like just people in general. Because then, like, where does it stop? Like with the hardcore wrestling, you got hardcore wrestling, you got cruiserweight wrestling, and then like everyone's such a natural. Like, it reminds me of a botched spot thing. Are you gonna wrestle naked in front of fucking Greek fucking gods? I mean, where the fuck does it go? I don't know. I just think it makes pro wrestling look stupid at this time and age. I just think it's fucking retarded. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. I don't know, but maybe it's because I just been in the business. Every wrestler that can't do a certain style, that style sucks. If you're a cruiserweight, heavyweight suck. If you're hardcore, traditional sucks. If you're traditional, hardcore sucks. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, can you enjoy something without trying to get yourself over 24/7? I don't know. I just find the storyline to be annoying and stupid at this time and age.
I mean, I just think the way it was done was well. I was executed well. Hopefully this leads to something really big down the line, and I'd like to see people like Cheeseburger and Flip Gordon, leading the charge, for this. Different type of wrestler, because it used to be the lane of the giants. For you to even be taken seriously, you had to be over 6 feet tall, like at least 250 pounds ripped for anybody to take you seriously. Now, I mean, you've got different body types, different styles, and it's like it brings more to the table.
Yeah, but Bully Ray's not that fucking old. You know what I mean? It's not like he's goddamn Jesse Ventura. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Well, Dave, you realize he's been wrestling for just over 20 years now.
I know, but in his 20 years, he's been wrestling for 20 years, but he's bringing up topics that people that have been wrestling 50 years maybe should. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, oh, wow, where did you get your big break? ECW. Yeah, they didn't have cruiserweights in ECW. Great point, Bully Ray. Great point. Sit the fuck down. It's just dumb.
I would just tell everybody to watch it and just tell me what you think.
All right.
Just check it out. And then we get to the match that you actually watched. It was Cody versus Kenny. So, sir, since I've been talking on nonstop here, I just want you to tell me what were your thoughts of it, and you just take it from there.
I was really shocked that New Japan let this happen at Ring of Honor. That was the first thing I was shocked about. And I thought it would be some fucked up finish. They gave it plenty of time. And I really enjoyed the match. I think Cody's at a whole nother level being heel. I think the booking of Bullet Club is absolutely amazing. And I just find it to be great wrestling, fun, entertainment, and very unexpected. And Cody Rhodes is at another level of being a heel. He's just fucking mastered being a heel. And the thing is, you have to watch Being the Elite with this because it adds so much. It just adds so much to it. And like, I can't praise this enough because it's pro wrestling and sports entertainment done at the highest level, in my opinion, perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, it's very sports entertaining, but it's also great pro wrestling. You know what I mean? And a lot of times you have to choose. You can't have both. But I think the Bullet Club is showing that's different. And just Being the Elite, congratulations on 100 episodes. And fucking kayfabe-wise, let's put on our kayfabe hats. Okay. Why the fuck did the Young Bucks run down? Why? It makes no fucking sense. And then they're confused. Kayfabe-wise, it makes no fucking sense.
Dave, hang on. You need to, I mean, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse here. Just kind of explain what was going on that led up to this point, match-wise.
Well, you can do that because like there's one more thing I just want to say that I'll hot tag you because I'm kind of blown up. This is the last thing I would say. Sometimes I laugh really fucking hard. And I haven't laughed like genuine laughing hard, like tears in your eyes, fucking laughing hard. Except Being the Elite made me fucking die laughing. And this is just one thing I want to say before I hot tag you. They introduced Business Bear, okay?
Bartholomew the Business Bear.
All right, first off, kind of cute, gets a chuckle, ha 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 ha. But then I'm paraphrasing here. It's like, well, is Business Bear gonna party with us? And Cody Rhodes, dead serious, goes, he's all fucking business. And I kid you not, I don't know why, because you don't know when you're gonna get that really good laugh in life. I legit laughed so fucking hard. Like, I legit, and the worst part is I was by myself. You know when you fucking lose your shit laughing and you're by, because like when you're with someone else, they're enjoying it and it adds to the laughter. I laughed so fucking hard in an empty fucking apartment that it was fucking embarrassing. Dude, I don't know why it just caught me off guard. He's like, he's all fucking business, and I died laughing. But yeah, I'm hot tagging you because you're way better at this than me.
This match right here, I've been looking forward to this since they announced this. I think it was back in February is when they announced this. Supercard of Honor here was shortly after. It was after the turn, after Cody completely just turned on Kenny. I was actually kind of shocked at this because this was definitely not like their best match. I understand where it is in the storyline of the feud. I guess I understand you can't go balls out. But to me, it was Cody dominating much of the match. It was Kenny kind of fighting from underneath. I would say of the match, I think Cody dominated. I'd say about 80% of it. It's just like he had an answer for everything with Kenny Omega. Kenny was trying to make a comeback. There was a good spot where Brandy got knocked off the ring by accident.
Dude, I love that spot. And also, too, with Flip. The storyline with Flip, I enjoy a lot, too. Go on.
Yeah, and Omega's fighting back. Cody moves, and he accidentally V-triggers Brandy off the ring apron through a table. I think that's the best. That's the best looking bump I've seen her take. I was actually kind of scared because I felt like she may have legitimately hit her head. And they play into that being the Elite. I'll just have you watch that. But Flip Gordon helped her out. By the way, Flip got a lot of fucking screen time at this pay-per-view. Then it kind of came down. There was a ref bump, and here we go. And then the Young Bucks go out there. They're like, "Who are we going to super kick? We're going to super kick Kenny Omega." And crowd's booing, "No, no, no!" So they move towards Cody, and the crowd's cheering, "Yeah!" And at this one point, they're going to double super kick Cody, but he falls down. Boom! They catch.
Allegedly.
They catch Kenny Omega right in the face. Cody hits Crossroads, gets the win. The Young Bucks have got egg all over their face. People are chanting, "You fucked up," and this was, I guess, this was okay for where it was, but this was nowhere near the type of match I expected them to have. I made a statement, last show I did that Cody has got Shane Douglas syndrome, which is you can talk a good game, but he really can't deliver that well in the ring. And I felt like this was Omega kind of wrestling down to Cody's level, which is why Cody dominated the bulk of it and why it's not their absolute best because, they're saving the best for last as they should. I expected a little bit more. I agree. You could have had the same ending. You could have done the same everything. I just wanted to see more offense from Kenny Omega and just make it like, he straight up could have won this, but that damn ref bump and the Bucks miscue, allegedly, would just, give me encouragement. But to me, I was like, well, I guess Cody's a Ring of Honor guy and Kenny Omega's a New Japan guy, so I guess it makes sense to have the Ring of Honor guy go over in the Ring of Honor show and maybe where this goes. But to be honest, I expected more from these two, and I guess maybe it's just because my hopes were too high. I felt like it didn't deliver.
See, I think it was good for a first match. I didn't think they were going to go all out. I'm
not saying they had to go all out. I'm not saying. I just thought it was going to be a little bit better than what it was.
Gotcha. So, Booms, quick question, and then I'm going to go to live comments, and then I'm going to take a break for 2 seconds while you talk the main event, because I actually haven't seen the full main event. All right. Comment. Put your kayfabe hat on. Why did the Young Bucks go down? It makes no sense. None of it makes sense, kayfabe.
Well, they did touch on that on being the elite. It's like, okay, we've got to make a decision right now. Are we behind Kenny? We behind Cody? We behind Kenny? We behind Cody? So they kind of explained that. It's like, we got to make a decision right now. Who are we gonna back? How are we gonna take care of this?
Got it. I still think it's a dumb reason. All right, live comments. You ready?
Ready.
Daniel Weather says, "Isn't Cody signed with ROH? Maybe that's why New Japan let the match happen." Yeah, and they also have a good working relationship. So thank you, Daniel Withers. Zach Rowe has a bunch. I'm loving the Bullet Club feud. It's arguably one of the best feuds in the last decade. I agree because it's entertaining and it keeps you guessing in a good way.
Yeah, we don't know where it's going.
Yeah, at least, and a lot of people will predict. I don't think they know where it's going, but I think they're doing such a great job doing it. Daniel Withers, Cody Rhodes wrestles for New Japan all the time. They practically share rosters, the Gaijins anyway. He goes on, a lot of people who overcritical this match, I thought it was great. I enjoyed it too, Boobs. That's why I'm on the same page.
I expected more. I thought it was going to be better than what it was, but to be honest, I was disappointed by it.
And Brandy got some good air on that table bump. I agree. That was a nice spot and a nice story. Dude, it's sports entertainment and pro wrestling done right, in my opinion. Daniel Withers says, kind of surprised it didn't main event. Had the people started leaving the event after the match. Yeah, I thought it was going to main event too.
Thank God I'm not the only one who noticed that.
Yeah. Zach Rose says, I like that ROH kept their championship match as the main event. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think I'm old school, so I can't. Yeah, I can't be hypocritical. I thought Bullet Club should have been a main event, but at the same time, at NXT, I was like, no, the championship has to go last. So you know what? I don't want to be a hypocrite. I tip my hat to you, Ring of Honor. It had balls. Zach Rose says, you can't expect 5 stars from Cody Rhodes. I don't know. I think he could surprise you. I don't know. I think Cody could do a 5-star match. I don't know. I thought him and Ibushi were close. I don't rate, in the defense of this statement though, I don't rate matches by 5 stars. I just rate it like if I really, how much I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not, that's how I see pro wrestling. Did I enjoy it? Because there's some matches that might be 5-star match, but they're boring as shit. And then there might be a match, look at Yano. Yano makes me smile, but he's never going to have a 5-star match. Match tonight was Hangman Page versus Ibushi. I'll have to go back and watch it. Booms watched everything, by the way. So Booms is more of a pro on this Ring of Honor stuff than I am. The Bucks wanted to show who they were loyal to. All right. I think he's 4 stars at best. All right. I'm going to take your word for it, Zach Rowe. He's a solid B plus.
Wow.
Triple H made that get over. Hey, Booms, you talk main event, ask him win, loss, or tie, and I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Sorry, I got something to do. I apologize. You got this, Booms?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Go ahead. All right, so the main event here, we have Dalton Castle versus the villain Marty Scurll. To me, when they did this match, I reminded of a line from Jeff Goldblum's character from Jurassic Park, and even though I don't remember it directly, line word for word, but it basically goes something like this. It's, you kept thinking about whether or not you could, what you didn't consider is whether or not you should. So they could do a main event that lasted over 30 minutes, but should they have done a main event that lasted over 30 minutes? This was a co-main event. The Kenny Cody match went just over 30 minutes, and instead of, and I really think this match suffered here, is because this match suffered because in my opinion, it went too long. This also went about 30 minutes. So your main events, your co-main events went like a grand total of an hour apiece. Went like a grand total of an hour on part of your 4.5 hour show. A lot of it was, I think it kind of flew in the face of kind of what Ring of Honor does. I really felt like the match should have been faster and they should have picked up the pace, but instead they decided to slow it down. They decided to drag it out, make it slow, methodical, almost like a New Japan main event, almost like an Okada match. And with all due respect, Dalton Castle and Marty Scurll cannot wrestle that type of style, at least not consistently keep it interesting. I think had they kept it shorter, it would have been interesting because a lot of it was Dalton Castle trying to out-wrestle Marty Scurll. They got some shit at the end where Scurll was looking for some powder, and it took him like 10, I'm almost not exaggerating, it took him like 10 goddamn minutes to find out which fucking corner in the ring they fucking hid the powder up under, because he would go look under there. Well, it's not here. Go to the next corner, look under there. Now let's go to the next corner, look under there. Okay, get in the ring. Let's act like we're fighting here. Okay, let's go back outside. Let's go check the other corner. Oh, here it is. And they did a spot where they where Scurll was going to throw the powder in Dalton Castle's face. Dalton Castle kicks it in his face. They did have a funny spot where while Scurll was blinded, the referee, I think it was like Paul Turner, goes up to check on him, and in his blinded state, Scurll thinks that that's Castle, and he breaks his fingers, just the finger break spot. Hits him with a maneuver, goes for the pin. Paul Turner goes to count one, and he can't count the three. He can't count the three because his fucking fingers are broken, because he can't slap the mat. So they got to bring in another referee. They get wrestled another sequence. Eventually, Dalton Castle hits the bangerang, gets the pin on Marty Scurll, and when they're getting ready to wrap up, they do like this wide shot, which I really wish they hadn't done, because now you can see like 2/3 of that fucking arena is fucking empty. Nobody hung around for that fucking main event because it drug on fucking forever. I think you could have done that match, but I think if you would have kept that to about half the time, about 15 minutes, I think everybody would have been happier, picked up the pace, because they had drug on with the Kenny Cody match. And I really felt like a little faster match with a lot of bullshit cut out really would have benefited Ring of Honor. But Dalton Castle retains. Sammy's still happy, and all's right with the world.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Dalton Castle. Just for nerdy facts, I'm looking on Wikipedia. The Cody match was 37 minutes and 15 seconds, and the Dalton Castle match was 31 minutes and 37 seconds.
So over an hour of the 4.5 hour pay-per-view was just your main events.
Yeah. We're going to go some live comments, and then we're going to hit some pro wrestling news. Booms, you got the stories ready, brother?
Yeah, I got the stories ready.
Talking about Cody, Zach Rose says he's entertaining as a heel, though. I agree. Daniel says the best heel at the moment, or at least from the shows I've been watching. And Zach Rose said, I was surprised that so many people wanted Scurll to win. I'm surprised how over he is. He sells so many T-shirts.
I know.
I'm not knocking Scurll. I think Scurll is amazing, but it's one of those things. Is whatever. If he as amazing as the rest of the world thinks he is, I'm like, oh, because I watched him at Wrestle Kingdom. I watch him, in New Japan. I watch him here and there, but like people lose their fucking minds for this guy. And is he that good? I don't know. Good for him for being over, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't want to player hate on the guy. Let's see. Zach Rowe also said, I've waited a good 5 years for Castle to win a world championship. this better be a long reign. Yeah, the only thing is I worry about Kenny King's future because I love Castle and I don't want to see him lose. But where does Kenny King go from here? Zach Rose says I think they put too much filler on the main card. Possibility. Booms. That's more of your card because I only saw the one match. I apologize. Go ahead. What do you think? Too much filler?
Out of all that, I guess maybe you could have cut out like the beginning match, or maybe cut out the Bully Ray Cheeseburger Flip Gordon incident. Yeah, I think you maybe could have cut those out and been fine, but I really think you should have shortened the I probably would have put Kenny Cody right at 30 minutes, and I probably would have put the main event at right about 15.
Yeah.
And just shortened. That would have probably trimmed almost an hour off the show. Because I mean, 4.5 hours. I mean, come on, that's fucking long.
Yeah, but it's still like WrestleMania weekend show.
Yeah, but just because WWE does a long fucking show doesn't mean you need to do a long fucking show. You can burn your fucking audience out.
Dude, yeah, you get burnt out. We went to Mania in Orlando, not the one prior to the last one, where Ric Flair allegedly retired. And we love pro wrestling more than probably grown men should love pro wrestling. And by the end of the weekend, we were just burnt out. Like, I remember we went to FCW on Tuesday or Wednesday, I forget. And we're just like, dude, no. We're tapping the fuck out. You know what I mean? There's a lot. If you go, even if you don't, because there's so many great independents running that weekend, whatever city it's in. Even if you don't go to the independent stuff, that's a lot of pro wrestling. There's just a lot of pro wrestling the week of WrestleMania. And yeah, maybe shorter show is okay. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to skip this because Zach Rowe, I'm going to skip one of your comments because I'm not sure who you're talking about. But I'm going to read this one. I don't like Kenny King. I'm glad Silas Young won back his TV championship. Kenny King was better in ANX. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just like Kenny King because, I don't know, I'm just a big fan of him. But then I also worked in the Florida Indies where he kind of like rebuilt his career. And he's like one of the nicest guys in the world. So like maybe I have maybe a biased view on Kenny King. I root for Kenny King because I feel like he came through the territory that I used to book and promote, and he's a great guy. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on Kenny King? Because you never met him and you never worked in the Florida Indies.
No, I mean I like Kenny King. I think he's.
Do you think he should be TV champ, ROH champ? Where do you think he should? Like, if you had Kenny King stock, where does it go from here? If you were booking.
I'm booking. I'm putting him right now in a tag match with him and Aries versus Silas Young and Bear City Bruiser. I would have probably Brian Milanos like interfere in that when he's that big 400-pound motherfucker, and then kind of give some more heat, and then at least it'll just like escalates to another match, and then from there you can have another rematch. But yeah, I would definitely put the belt back on Kenny King. I think he's a phenomenal athlete. He's got a great physique.
All right. Booms, give your final win, loss, or tie, and we haven't done this in a while, in the comments down below or in the chat on the side. Put win, loss, or tie what you thought. I only watched one match because I'm a piece of shit. So, boom, I'm giving you my vote. Win, loss, or tie for Ring of Honor.
I'm going to give it a tie.
All right. Let's break down some wrestling news.
Wrestling news. Here's some big one here. Alberto El Patron, otherwise known as Alberto Del Rio, has been fired from Impact Wrestling after no showing, not one but two events. First he did not. He no showed the WrestleCon event on I think it was like Friday night it was like Impact versus Lucha Underground. He was in the main event. He was supposed to be in a tag match. He was supposed to be teamed with Austin Aries to take on the Lucha Brothers. That didn't happen. They just kind of and I watched the event, by the way. They didn't really explain what the hell was going on with Del Rio. They just got commentary, which was Josh Matthews and Matt Stryker, just got handed a note saying that it's been changed to a three-way. It was going to be Austin Aries versus Pentagon Dark versus Phoenix, and that's what it was. And then come to find out that El Patron no-showed an autograph signing on Saturday. So they went ahead and let him go either that day or the next day. They let him go. I don't know if this. I don't want to. I'm not one to get into speculation, but there was rumors that Vince McMahon was interested in bringing him back to WWE. And again, this is speculation. Don't take this for a fact here. I don't know if this was just something where he just blew it off so he would get fired, so he would be free to sign with WWE, because as far as I know, Impact doesn't have like a 90-day no-compete clause or anything of that nature.
Well, with the Hardys DVD and all that, I think they're working, Impact and WWE are working together more than our fans think they are, as of recently. But I just want to get my thoughts on Del Rio. As a pro wrestler, I think he's either completely awesome or completely shitty. If you told me there was two Del Rios, I'd believe you. I'd be like, oh yeah, one of them can wrestle great and one of them can't. Because he's either a fucking like great heel pro wrestler or he's a piece of shit that mails it in. Like there's no in between with Del Rio. And the second thing is, you know, it's one of those things, I don't want to get into his personal life. I try to like just focus on the show and my opinion of the matches and the shows. But when you keep hearing horrible shit over and over and over, you're like, well, I don't know the full story. But then there comes a breaking point where like, hey, he might be a scumbag. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, I don't know the full story about Paige. I don't know the full story about this. I don't know the full story about this. But when you start adding it up, you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm giving this guy the benefit of the doubt, trying to not get into his personal life. But when you're always making headlines for being a piece of shit, maybe you're a piece of shit. I don't know. Boobs, your thoughts?
You know, I just think that's shitty just to know shows like, oh, but maybe he was sick or he, you know, I'm like, dude, if he was fucking sick, his ass wouldn't have got fired. They're not going to fire you for having the flu. Let's take two here. They're not going to fire you for having the flu. They're not going to fire you for legitimately having like food poisoning or something. They're going to fire your ass if you fucking flake or better yet, they call you, because I guarantee if they would have called him and said, or he would have called them and said, look, I'm sick. I'm not going to make it. I'm running temperature 103. Okay, he's sick. Or, hey, man, where you at? Like, dude, I'm stuck here. I'm stuck at the airport. Or, you know, my flight, you know, has been delayed. Or, dude, I got sick at the airport. I got sick at this restaurant. I can't make it. Can you know do something right here? They wouldn't have fired him. But just I think what happens is he no-showed. They tried to call him. He didn't answer. And they're like, well, fuck it. If you don't want to be here, fine. Fuck you. And I mean, hell, he was supposed to get a main event match against Austin Aries, let's see, in a couple of weeks. And to me, you know, you say that he's either really awesome or, you know, really just, you know, whatever. I just think he's fucking average at best. And to me, he brings more fucking baggage and goddamn Samsonite with him wherever he fucking goes. And I don't understand why people kiss his ass. He is, I mean, how many companies has he fucked over, Dave? I mean, dead serious. I mean, there was the first time getting fired with WWE was not his fault. I probably would have done what he did. You know, if you don't remember this, somebody like a creative team or somebody with a man, like backstage guy, they were backstage at catering and they were like, oh, don't you need to clean up the plates. Oh no, that's Alberto's job. You know, get it because he's Mexican. Haha. And so he heard about it. Went back there, confronted the guy, and slapped the shit out of him, which I don't blame him. I probably would have done the same thing.
But here's the thing, too. Look at his track record. That might not be true. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. And I was all on Del Rio's side. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking slap people around. But it's get to the point now, you're just like, all right. You know what he reminds me of? Your alcoholic roommate or your alcoholic family member. Like, after a while, you just stop believing what they say. Like, yeah, okay, someone creative fucking was racist. Sure they were, Del Rio.
Okay,
sure
let's move that aside. Look at the other shit. Look at the incident with Paige. I mean, he's fucked over AAA. Now he's fucked over Impact. He fucked over WWE a second time. I mean, come on. I mean, there's a clear pattern here. And the only person who seems to want this guy, and I don't know fucking why, is Vince McMahon. I have no fucking clue why.
I imagine it's to try to get some more tickets in Mexico. That's what I imagine.
I mean, okay, Vince, if that's the case, Vince, there are other Mexicans. There are more than one Mexican that Mexicans will pay to see. I
could just see Vince McMahon watching this on his iPhone, dropping it, and be like, Triple H, is this true? There's more than two Mexicans. Like, I can see him legit unsure. Like, really? What? You mean there's more than 2 of them? That's not what my buddy Donald Trump told me. I don't know. I could just see Vince McMahon losing his shit. Del Rio, just can you please give me hope that you're not a piece of shit? Please. That's it. Let's go to some live.
I just don't. I mean, I honestly don't get it. I honestly don't get what the appeal is. I mean, with his track record, he's fucked over every goddamn promoter he's fucking worked for, and he's not that great of a talent.
All right, let's go to some live comments because pretty much we think Del Rio sucks a dick.
Okay.
Google screwed up YouTube. Welcome back, buddy. Okada. Glad I could finally make a live stream. You guys are the best, and I appreciate you keeping my love of wrestling alive. Hey, appreciate it. We're trying to make a comeback, trying to rebuild this stuff. Zach Rose says about the ROH pay-per-view, I'll give it a week win. Great. Zach Rose is going to use big words. I was saying that Marty Scroll? How do we say it? I always say Scroll, but I'm using it wrong. How do you say his name? I think that's how you pronounce it. Has a great aesthetic, but no substance as far as his ring work is concerned. The J-Rock Freak says, I'm fine with Berto being gone. I love the new main event with Aries versus Pentagon and Phoenix.
Yeah,
I like it too, yeah.
That was a good main event. I watched that. I watched that entire show. That actually was a pretty decent show.
I find Skrull. I find them entertaining, and sometimes aesthetics is all you need. Zach Rowe, there's only so many scandals you can be involved before you start to recognize the common denominator. Google screwed up YouTube. Del Rio is the Anakin Skywalker of wrestling. All the talent abilities, but I'm sorry, dude. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. I love Star Wars.
That's like the best comment ever.
All the talent abilities, but his shitty disposition keeps him from being great. Looking forward to the cage match with Obi-Wan Kenobi, though. Nice. Give yourself 8 Barry Horowitz's. Google screwed up YouTube. J-Rock is talking to Daniel Withers. Google screwed up YouTube. More baggage than Samsonite. Boom, boom. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. Legit. LOL. There you go. Look at that. Barry Horowitz. Talking to Daniel Withers. Zach Rose says, yeah, that one scumbag uncle that breaks his promise and always smells of booze. That's my whole family tree, motherfucker. Do you think La Sabra filled that void? Sure.
Oh, he's talking about Andrade Cien Almas. I think Almas could definitely be a guy who fills that void.
I always bet against him and don't think he's great, and he always proves me wrong. So I'll say he can do great. No, what he is. That guy has to have me keep saying he's a piece of shit because every time I'm like, I'm not sure about this guy. He's like, oh, what about this 9-star match? I'm like, I don't know if he's got the potential. He's like, what about this 27-star match? I'm like, I don't see it yet. He's like, he's just going to come to Tokyo and slap me in the fucking face. And he's like, I'm awesome, bitch. Get used to it. Booms. Next story.
Next here is at the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Rusev is out. Jericho is in. It's going to be Undertaker versus Jericho.
How much? Okay, first off, good for Undertaker versus Jericho. That's legends. People are going to like it. But what the fuck, man? What the fuck does Rusev have to do? Does he have to sell more shirts? Does he have to fucking have an audience of 8 billion people chant Rusev Day? What the fuck does he have to do? Booms, what does he have to do? I mean, Vince McMahon is the type of guy that he would sit down and Rusev would be like, hey, I just sold 9 billion shirts and everyone's chanting my name and your dick is in my mouth as we speak. And he's like, I don't know if this is going to work out. What the fuck does Rusev have to do, Booms? What does Rusev have to do?
I honestly don't know at this point. I mean, remember, he asked for his release with WWE going into Mania because he said he was unhappy, so that's why they stuck him in that they turned the U.S. title match into a 4-way. I mean, the guy's over. People are chanting his name. They're chanting Rusev Day. I mean, hell, they had one hell of an idea. They made a Rusev calendar where literally every day on the calendar is marked Rusev Day.
All right, that's the awesomest fucking item I've ever heard in my life, and I don't know why I don't have one. But go on.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah. I mean, for old school WWE fans, it's going to be great. You're going to see Chris Jericho who always does something great. And Undertaker. Even though I know unpopular opinion of the fucking century, I'm a big fan of Undertaker. But I know other people are, so good for you guys. Some live comments. Do you have anything else to add? Or are we going to go live comments last story?
Yeah, Rey Mysterio is going to be there, but I think it's just a one-off.
Yeah. See, I think fuck Del Rio. I would be throwing all the money at Rey Mysterio. Because A, he's not as horrible as Del Rio at anything. And B, he sells 8 trillion fucking masks. 8 trillion. Dude, go walk the streets right now. Randomly walk the streets and talk to a kid. Don't do this. You're going to get arrested. But you can talk to anyone. Fuck a John Cena. Kids love Rey Mysterio Jr. He's the greatest fucking... The kids just look at him and like, holy shit, there's Rey Mysterio Jr. He's the greatest fucking human being alive. Okay? You can go to any kid in the world, from Mexico to Tokyo to Kawasaki to Australia to Canada to Boom Boom's house. It doesn't fucking matter. You go, if you have a son, go to your son right now and be like, hey, who do you like? He likes Rey Mysterio Jr. Everyone loves him. Fuck you, John Cena. Why ain't you just throwing all the money at him? I'd be like, hey, fucking Del Rio, go fuck yourself. Hey, how much money would you want, Rey Mysterio? Not enough? Here you go. I wouldn't even have him fucking wrestle. Send him to 205 Live. What the fuck, man? Give all the money to Rey Mysterio. All of it. All of it. To live comments, boom.
Yeah, to live comments.
Do either of you know what happened to Jericho versus Naito? I don't know, but my theory, my theory is that Jericho wanted more money and New Japan's like, fuck you. That's my theory.
My theory is they were going to use it for Strong Style Evolved, but once they sold out, they realized they didn't need to pull that match out. So I think they're going to wait till like Dominion at June to whip that one out. But
Jericho has tweeted, and I think on his podcast mentioned it's not going to happen now. But who knows? He might be kayfabing us.
Oh, yeah, I guarantee he's kayfabing. I mean, he's a free agent. I mean, he's going to do what he wants, and I guarantee they're like, hey, do you want to work with Naito at Dominion? Oh, I don't know. Would you do it for a Scooby snack? Well, okay, 2 Scooby snacks. What are you talking about? I'm Chris Jericho, not a damn dog. I mean, 3 Scooby snacks. Okay, we got a deal. We got a fucking deal. 3 Scooby snacks.
Make it happen. I definitely want to see it. All right, and let's go to some live comments and wrap this bad boy up, all right? Google screwed up YouTube says Rusev is being buried because he dared to get over with Lana, the hottest blonde on the roster. Vince hates relationship between the talent unless you're Triple H or John Cena. If true, that's completely sad.
I think, to be fair, I think they were an item before they even came into WWE.
Yeah, but Vince is a dick. What does Rusev have to do? I don't know. Daniel Withers says Rey is probably more better known than Del Rio, too. That's not even a probably. Rey Mysterio is definitely more known than Del Rio. It's not even close, in my opinion. Zach Rose says, I love Rey Mysterio as a kid because he was the same size as me, and I found it relatable. Thank you. I actually thought he was a kid. And not all that, but he's just fucking awesome. And Daniel Withers said it best. Daniel Withers, you're saying this way better than I could ever say. Jericho's a troll. Don't trust his words. Yeah, Jericho is a troll. Google screwed up YouTube. Chris Jericho versus Scrappy Doo. Scooby Snack on a pole match. Book it. Like, comment, subscribe. They got each other in NXT. They got with each other in NXT. Okay, so Zach Rowe giving us a heads up on a relationship between Rusev. All right. Much love, brother. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. Booms. Plug a bunch of stuff like Operation Freak Show. You want to see a bunch of luchadors killed pedophiles? Read the book. Operation Freak Show. Booms.
Available on Amazon.com.
Thanks. Plug stuff, Booms.
You can also check us out at KocoSports.com or KocoSports.net. Takes you to the same place. It's your home for combat sports, where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Koco, it feels good to be doing these again. We should do more of them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I plan on doing a lot more. So I got a little time, so I'm gonna nerd. And know what else I'm gonna nerd? I'm gonna do more KocoSports. I'm gonna got a bunch of nerdy shit. I'm gonna try to write more. And also, Koco Plays, boom, boom. You think this site is gone into shitter? You should see that channel. No one watches that channel. Go to Koco Plays.
So how often can they watch you lose on NHL?
Well, first off, My Tokyo Ninja Turtles are, I think, 13-2-2 in second place. Thank you very much. And I'm also starting career mode with Sexy Yama Handsome. He's got a mustache, and there's a story behind that name. Subscribe to Koco Plays. No one watches it. Please subscribe. All right, boobs. Let's check out live comments. Twitter. What does Twitter have to say? Twitter is asking us how I lost so much weight. Depression and carrots.
Yeah, about to say he lived off carrots and sadness, and
that's how I lost so much weight. Thanks, Twitter. I'm glad you can make me sad, Twitter. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all, Internet Infantry. Slowly but surely, we're rebuilding this channel, and we got so much nerd stuff to go. KocoSports, Operation Freak Show, and Koco Plays. And don't forget boomboomsandstockings.net. I swear to Christ, I hope someone bought that domain name. Did I say like, comment, subscribe? I think I did. And with that, I am over. Bum, 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 bum.